こんにちは。はじめまして。
こんにちは、はじめまして。
Hello, welcome to Veganica channel. Today our guest is Japanese vegan activist Taiki-san. Welcome, Taiki-san.
Thank you.
You are running a YouTube channel in both languages, yes? It's in Japanese and English, yes?
Yes.
And you are actually one of very few that I found in Japanese language. Maybe even just to tell me, what is the situation with vegan activism in Japan? And are there many vegans there?
Slowly progressing. People are slowly progressing. Vegan activists here are trying to make a change by doing activism that you've seen on internet, probably. The ones that are showing the footage of animal cruelty on the street, including that. And also like a march, kind of a movement. But I do this kind of vegan activism online, which I can reach to so many people worldwide. And it is actually everyone's wonder if Japan is vegan friendly. I sometimes make videos about how difficult it is to go vegan or how easy it is to go vegan in Japan. Yes.
You said that it is kind of popular form of activism in Japan to show people footages of animal cruelty. So do you mean Animal for the Voiceless or this kind, like similar? Maybe you have your own Japanese organization, or they belong to the Anonymous for the Voiceless organization?
No, they don't. They don't belong to. They're just doing it themselves.
Okay, but in a similar way, yes?
Yes.
They show the footage, so they go with the screens, yes? With
Yes.
computers, yes?
Yes.
Do they stop people, or they are just standing, like standing in a queue, for example, and they are waiting until somebody approaches them and and start the conversation?
Yes.
They're waiting, yes?
Yes.
Is it legal in Japan? Or you need to
Yes, it
always...
is.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. But some people make complaints. They call the police. Police just come to just warn. They just say, oh, there was a report. There has been a report. So I would like you to move away. But it's not exactly illegal. So we just move away temporarily and come back and do the same.
So they don't announce this kind of manifestation in advance because, for example, in Poland, we always announce to police before we go. Then we inform police we are standing there, and it's funny because then the police is coming as a security. So sometimes there are more policemen than activists. So, but you don't. You just go, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there's no problem. Is it popular form? Are there many vegan activists, and does it happen often, or this is very, very rare view in Japan?
In Tokyo, it happens a lot.
Wow.
In Osaka, occasionally, but no other places particularly. There were some in Kobe, but like really few.
I see.
Yes.
So just only in big cities.
Yeah.
Are there many vegan YouTubers in Japan?
Vegan YouTubers in Japan? Yes.
Yes, many?
Yes.
But do they talk about ethics, or rather they focus on food, on recipes, on health?
More on recipes and health. I'm like one of those few who talk about the ethics. I know like two more who talk about the ethics.
So not many really.
It's not really common, the ethics.
Yeah. I thought so because when I typed in veganism in Japanese, then the results I received were rather poor, and they showed rather food than any speech. Are there any charismatic speakers talking about ethics? Like there are some famous figures in West. Is there any Japanese Gary Jurowski or Vegan Gains or Earthling Ads? Are there any popular. I would say even celebrities, because I think that some Western vegan activists already have the status of celebrities. So do you have any vegan celebrities? But talking about ethics, not food.
I suppose Dante. He's not Japanese. I think he's American. Yeah, that's one of the most popular ones, most famous ones. But since Japan is really conservative country, it is really rare. Any celebrities, like actors or singers, like almost non-vegan celebrities like that.
Traditionally, Japan used to be vegan country for about 1,200 years. Meat was banned in Japan. Do Japanese people still remember this? Do they identify themselves with this tradition, or do they completely forgot? And now they rather think about fish as being a Japanese tradition, sushi, things like this.
We always had fish. So we are really fish-based country.
As far as I read, not really. It became popular in 20th century, and before it was because there was a ban for 1,200 years on meat, especially land animals meat, but there was also, but not constantly, there was also ban for fishing, for fish as well. Once it was strict, in another period it was lifted, because especially when there was hunger, so some emperors let people fish, sometimes not. So as far as I read, actually fish became popular in Japan in 20th century. So Japanese seem not to remember their tradition. Yes or no?
Do they know that we didn't eat meat? Is that
Yeah,
the question?
do they know? Are they proud of this tradition? Do they
I
consider
don't think so.
themselves as basically like a
Oh
vegan
no.
country? So they don't remember this tradition.
I mean, some of them may remember, but Japan loves meat and fish,
Nowadays,
unfortunately.
yes. Nowadays, yeah. Why do you think that is so? Because the ban on meat was lifted in 19th century, and originally it was explained that for the purposes of socializing with Westerners. So it was a habit that Japanese tried to share with Westerners, to dine with them. But there was another reason. They also believed that by eating meat, Japanese men, Japanese samurais can grow bigger. Probably they saw those Westerners arriving to Japan and they saw that they were bigger, taller. So they thought probably that if they eat like them, they will be as big as them. To be honest, this is something that I am worrying about, even about Japan, because I saw that Japanese elder generation is short. The Japanese elder men are short, and they didn't eat so much meat. When I talked to them, this is not their tradition. So the younger generation, fed by McDonald's and all those this Western style food, a lot of meat, they are indeed much taller. So I saw many young people, young guys, like really tall, which doesn't fit the image of Asian men. So I was thinking, even if is it even healthy to be so much taller than the elder generation? But don't you think that if the man thinks in this way, that meat makes them taller, it can be especially difficult to promote veganism in Japan? Do you think so, that this might be an obstacle?
I mean, some people believe vegan diet is not nutritionally rich.
Okay.
So if some vegan parents try to raise like vegan children, it's
Mm-hmm.
like a red flag for many people. It's like a lot of people say, "Oh, lack of protein, so your kids don't
Okay.
grow well,
Mm-hmm.
like don't grow tall or anything."
Mm-hmm.
But I think that whether meat-based diet can make you tall or anything, that concern is primarily on the focus of childbearing, not exactly for adults, because adults have grown up. already.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like taste bud. People love meat. People
Mm-hmm.
love fish. Everything. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
they just like the taste. Is the
Okay.
main concern. Is the
Mm-hmm.
main obstacle. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also convenience, because vegetables are more expensive than meat here
I
in this
see.
country. Yes.
Vegetables. I remember that fruits are very expensive in Japan. I was
Oh yeah.
actually
That's true.
shocked by the prices of
Yes.
fruits. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, ridiculous sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't remember about vegetables. So vegetables are also expensive.
Oh yeah, more expensive. So
Oh,
it's usually opposite. Meat is cheaper. I mean, meat is more expensive, usually, right? And veggies are cheaper. That's the usual logic
it should
for
be,
many
yes.
countries.
Should be, yes.
But like in Japan, it's the opposite. So many people
Mhm.
just don't find it convenient to stick to vegetarianism. And also, like, if you search vegan on YouTube in Japanese, you see like lots of anti-vegan contents saying like vegans are
Anti-vegan,
top.
yes, is
Yes,
there?
anti-vegans, yeah.
Oh,
Like on the
okay.
internet, people believe veganism is a cult. A lot of
Mhm.
people believe
But
in Japan.
what kind of cult? Because there is still Buddhism in Japan, and this is amazing that for over 1,000 of years, Japan, traditionally at least, there was such an intention. It was officially banned. Eating meat was banned because of Buddhism, because it was already considered immoral. It was already considered kind of a sin. And what happened? Because Buddhism still exists in Japan. So nowadays, they don't think it's immoral anymore. That's Buddhism. I don't know, maybe you are not completely interested in religions, are you? Are you interested in
Yeah,
religions? Because
I
I wonder
consider
what happened
myself.
to all those Buddhists nowadays. Why they don't teach that it is immoral to? Because in past, in Japan, it was even death penalty, death sentence for eating meat. This was that restrict. So what happened with
Americans,
Buddhists?
probably.
It's influence,
Influenced
yes,
by
of West.
Americans, probably. Because we lost the war against Americans.
So you lost your spirit.
No,
You
like
you you stopped being like true Japanese, yes? Do
I
you
mean,
think
we're
so?
not patriotic. Firstly, we're not patriotic at all.
You're not patriotic anymore?
Or
Really?
anymore, like, we're not patriotic at all. Nobody's patriotic here in this country. And we are Buddhists. Like, yeah,
Hmm?
our culture is heavily Buddhist. We see like shrines and temples, many
Yes,
many
yes.
of them in this country.
But they are not real.
But
Yeah, they are
doesn't
kind
mean
of fake. It's
we're
business, yes?
religious, right? So I don't consider myself Buddhists, for
Hmm.
example, because I consider myself atheist.
Hmm.
And many people are actually like this. Japan is, yes, heavily
Hmm.
Buddhist country by history, yes, but doesn't mean we are religious now. We
Hmm.
used to be religious,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Hmm.
back in the day, but now we're not religious.
Hmm. Hmm. I kind of understand because life in Japan is life in a hurry. They are in a constant hurry. They hurry to work. They hurry to eat something. They hurry to get some sleep, and they hurry to get back to job. So I think the circumstances don't promote even reflection about life because it's and they live also in a constant competition. Yes, they are constantly competing. So I understand it's different than living in a space, being alone in a bigger space, having your own position in your life. Not so it's a very specific life there. So I kind of understand that they lost some interest, but I wonder what do they even teach in this in those Buddhist temples? Do they even teach that you should not eat meat, or they completely gave up? And I think nowadays even Buddhist monks eat meat. Yes,
Oh
so
yeah, they
they
do.
completely
Many,
gave
many,
up.
many of them. Yeah, it's rarer to find a monk who doesn't eat meat.
Yeah, so this is strange.
Yes.
It completely changed. I see. So you said there were a lot of anti-vegans in Japan.
Yes.
What kind of arguments do they usually use? Like that veganism lacks some nutrients? Is this the
Yeah, yeah.
main argument or something else? Or they don't like mentally they don't like vegans?
Oh,
What's the
that too.
problem?
That too.
Both.
Yeah. They say, oh, like, as long as you do vegan, you do you, I do me, it's fine. But like forcing vegan to like others is a problem. That's what a lot of people say. That's what anti-vegans say.
Yeah, but vegans want to make the world vegan, not just to eat vegetables. That's not the goal of vegans, to eat by ourselves. Are there those fat diets like keto, carnivore? Are they already fashionable in Japan? Do you have keto influencers in Japan? Keto, carnivore?
Keto, I don't know what
You don't know
diet
what
that
keto
is.
is? Keto,
No.
the diet based on fat-based diet.
Fat-based diet?
They avoid carbohydrates.
Oh, like cutting down carbs?
Yes, yes. Keto diet
Yeah,
based
it
on.
is kind of. It is kind of popular.
Is it? It's popular in Japan. So, what name do you
Oh,
have?
yeah.
Because if you don't associate the name keto, so maybe you have another name for this. Do you have another name for this diet?
We just say cutting down carbs
Just
in
only
Japanese.
this?
Yeah.
Only this. They are just cutting. Okay, but cutting carbs is one thing, but they uh, like elevate the status, the image of fats. So that's not only about cutting carbs, giving a bad face to carbs, but they also promote fatty meats, butter, bacon. So they promote all kind of fats. So you don't have this.
It's feeding on fats?
Yes, the diet
No, I
based on
don't
fat.
think so.
You don't have this diet,
I
yes?
don't think so.
So they are only talking about cutting carbs. So what do they eat when they cut carbs? So how does this diet look like? It's probably it is based on meat, yes, meat and fish, probably, yes or no?
Are you asking me about those people who cut carbs? What do
Yeah,
they
yeah,
eat
yeah. What do
instead?
they promote instead? Because if they cut something,
Meat,
they must eat
fish,
something instead.
eggs. Meat, fish, eggs, vegetables.
Okay, they still eat vegetables, so they are not carnivore. I
No, no.
see. Mhm.
We don't
So
have
is there
many.
a carnivore diet already in Japan?
I don't know anyone who is a carnivore.
But I mean on YouTube. Do you have
I don't know.
carnivore YouTubers?
I mean, like they say, like, oh, I am like opposite vegan something.
Opposite.
This I've heard like an argument by YouTube. Oh, like I hear the scream of plants, so I eat meat only or something, which is like so dumb.
This was the first part of my conversation with Taiki. I usually cut long conversations, long interviews on debates into shorter pieces. Soon we will continue our conversation on veganism in Japan, but in the meantime, please check Taiki's channel called Sai Taiki. Thank you very much and see you next time.